Welcome back, everybody. Elaine and Owain live on in my heart. Yes, they do. I must leave the past behind. I have much to live for. Yes, you do, Cyan. And they would want you to move on. Cyan's soul cleared itself of all doubt and confusion. So now that we've taken care of all of the problems, Cyan's swordsmanship attained its peak level of skill. So now you get all of his sword tech abilities, as well as the Esper that's within that area as also. So we got some nice benefits coming out of Doma Castle, and that actually wraps it up for at least Doma Castle. We've taken care of all that, and here's the Magicite Alexander, which does allow for us to get the spell Pearl, aka Holy. So again, once again, welcome back to Final Fantasy VI. I hope everybody's having a good week so far. Happy Thursday, especially since we've got the holidays literally around the corner in the next few days. I hope everybody got the shopping done and all that fun stuff, because you're running out of days. And I feel bad for anybody who's out there doing it on Christmas Eve, man. That just can't be the funnest moment in your life, at least to me. But yeah, again, happy Thursday, everybody, and I hope everyone is well. And we continue on in all of the side questing and end game stuff that we need to do for Final Fantasy VI. Obviously, with grinding breaks in between. Right now, I'm actually heading over to an inn to recover from Doma Castle and then get ready to do some grinding, which obviously will not be on camera. And then we'll move on into the next quest. So again, I hope everybody's having a good time. And I'm actually just going to add this in from for the most part. Like, if you are playing Final Fantasy 15, let me know in the comments below what you're thinking of it so far. Me, I'm still playing through it, but I'm getting kind of hesitant about playing through it because I just barely found out about the whole... There are a lot of cutscenes in the game that aren't... Or there are a lot of cutscenes that aren't implemented in the game yet and won't be until March. And so I'm debating like whether or not to stop for the moment and wait till those cutscenes are implemented. Especially since I don't know when those cutscenes are supposed to start. I've looked everywhere online and I have varying accounts. Now, we actually did our magic cut for level grinding, and we are here in the town of Jidoor for the next quest on our journey. And that's actually going to be in the rich man's house in Jidoor. Owzer's house. Or Ozer, however you want to say it. I want to say Gozer, because I want him to be an interdimensional being. That doesn't necessarily work, but oh well. So this is the next destination that we actually need to take on. Not only will we get an Esper, but we'll also get a party member out of it. So we really do want to get it done. And here's Emperor Gestal's portrait. I always love this in Owzer's house. He has a portrait of the Emperor. It doesn't really make a whole lot of sense why he has that, but he does. And actually what we need to do, and I'm actually consulting the strategy guide at this point right now to make sure I know where I'm going. And first of all, you actually have to turn the lights off, and then you can get this, or at least I believe. Yeah, there you go. Stay away! And then you get this letter on the desk. It's Owzer's diary. Should we read it? Well, sure. Just spent an absolute fortune. It's my largest painting yet, so I won't be able to put it with the others. Okay. I'll decide later where to display it. So it's one of the paintings up there. Read the next page. An artist came from Zozo today. He wanted me to see his work. What a waste of time. So this guy's kind of snobby. Read the next page. Bought a new stairway lamp at the item shop. Expensive, but one flip of the switch and everything's bright and cheery. Okay, good. I'm glad you like your lamp that I'm turning on and off. Read the next page. I invited an artist over from Kullingen, about as talented as a bucket. Wow, okay, so we're seeing the snobbishness back. Read the next page. Something's happening to me. It started when I had that picture painted. What picture? And I've started hearing odd noises coming from downstairs. Okay. Don't know what to tell you there. The diary ends here. So that's kind of the hinting of what we're going to be experiencing in Owzer's house right now. So all you have to do is turn the light on. And then we actually have to go to a specific painting which is this painting of a woman. Picture of a lovely lady. Boom! And you get attacked. So this is kind of like the library, the Library of the Ancients from Final Fantasy V, where you're fighting living paintings again. I do like the fact that they are called Daling, almost a reference to Salvatore Dali. At least I'm guessing that that's who they're referencing. But I can't confirm that. If you guys can confirm it, that'd be awesome. And let's see. So we actually have another dungeon ahead of us. I'm trying to think if I have any business here. Not really, because I'm on holiday break, and people are already asking, are you enjoying your holiday break? Yeah, for the most part. I still have to get some reviews done, so I'm still keeping busy, and obviously we got lots of Christmas preparations, but I'm getting more and more excited because this is going to be my daughter's first Christmas that she'll be able to at least somewhat remember. I'm hoping that we'll be able to have at least a good enough experience that maybe some of it gets retained. I'm not sure how much of it will, but we're looking forward to it. We've already gotten her Christmas presents, and the sad part is that as soon as we got them, later that night, we wrapped them as soon as she went to bed, and now that we have presents under the tree, I tried to get her to, like, interact with them, and she wasn't really all that keen on doing it. She'd buzz by the presents, so maybe that's a good thing. That way she's not ripping the wrapping paper off, but, well, after this Christmas, she's going to be doing that regardless. Oh, geez, we're getting pulled in by a tractor beam. And it's an old lady! No! Could be an old man. We don't know. Let's find out. What is it? It is a soul dancer, so it was an old lady. And an old cat lady at that. Well, there you go. I wasn't even planning for a joke like that, and it just kind of presented itself to me. Yeah, there really isn't a whole lot of business. Aside from the fact that active schedule's not going on, I just barely put up my review of World of Warcraft Legion, which, here's the thing, I actually thought it was worthwhile when I was recording it, and then I went and edited it, and it's more of a rave. So that's what I actually did get one person already asking, like, why is there a question mark at the end of it? It's because I don't know if I necessarily want to call that a review, but that's probably the closest to a review I would get. So I'm just going to go ahead and let it stand as a review, even though it's more of a rave than, like, it's a Drak raves more than anything else. Suffice to say, I really do like Legion, and I like a lot of the features implemented for as much as I've been able to play it. Then I've also got a couple of other reviews planned for this week, and we're just going to keep the schedule going for next week and even into January, because I think a few of them will be over into January, so that I can get the top 5s going. The only thing I'm concerned about that people aren't going to like is, obviously, with the more recent games I've gotten, I haven't had a whole lot of time to review them, but I do want to at least get check-ins of them. In particular, World of Final Fantasy and Final Fantasy 15. I'm just not going to have that much time put into either of them. So you're going to get check-in reviews, and unless I decide to do otherwise, the reviews that are getting check-ins will also be considered in the top 5 disappointments or the top 5 games of 2016. They might be a little bit lower on the list because they're incomplete, or they might end up as, like, honorable mentions. I'm not sure, but we'll figure that out as we go along, because there's been lots of games this year, and I would like to be able to give all of the positive ones and the negative ones their due time in the spotlight. So that's not going to be... I don't think that's going to be too much of an issue. But yeah, all of that stuff is going along just fine, and yeah, I'm just kind of enjoying some vacation time and trying to get all of these reviews done so that I can then go to some of the other games I'm working on while I wait until February, because February will be when I get my first reviews for 2017. I'm having to double check the schedule here and there because there isn't a whole lot known as of yet. But we're going to have a bunch of games coming out later that people are going to be interested in. Oh, and here we go. So this is a unique room. If you want the chests in here, you actually have to stand under them, fight the encounter that will happen after. So in this case, yet another cat lady, and then you'll get the chests. And so at that point, it's more of a pick and choose. Like, if you want this chest because of what's in it, then you want to make sure that you're ready for the fight that's going to happen. But do I really have to worry about that? Not really. As you can see, this is not necessarily the worst thing I've had to deal with. Also, just for the record, I am trying some new settings on audio, so let me know your feedback on it, because if it works out, maybe we'll start implementing it a little bit more. I'm just turning down the volume a little bit so that maybe I can get a little bit more loud, more vocal. I have a naturally loud voice, people, and so it's very difficult to try and talk into the mic because I have to either step back, kind of like I'm doing right now, or I have to just try and keep myself as quiet as I possibly can, and that's not the easiest thing to do, especially when I'm trying to do voices or reactions, because sometimes things are weird, and I react accordingly. All right. Now, people have already been asking if the active schedule is coming back, or if we are going to be doing a few tweaks to it. No, the active schedule's coming back. Tale of Drak will be back in January. Dungeons & Drak will be as well. I think starting January 20th, we'll have a new TV vlog series, which is going to be for Voltron Legendary Defender Season 2. And I might even do like a prologue video of my thoughts on Season 1. And yeah, we'll move into that. Heroes of the Storm is also going to return. I've really been wanting to get back into that game for footage for you guys. And then January is going to be kind of a slow month, so I am going to be making a very concerted effort to getting top 5s and top 10s for World of Warcraft done, along with the top best 2016, all that stuff out there for you guys. Let's see. So now we have an ether. Oh, look, it's a picture of Celeste. Or who was the girl she was replacing? I can't remember her name. Ah, crap. I can't remember her name. It could be her. It could be the opera singer that Celeste was meaning to be a decoy of. Could be that. There we go. So we'll continue on in here. And again, I've already been getting these questions. So, like, what are my plans for 2017? As far as this Let's Play goes, just the way it's going. We're going to finish up 6. We're going to move on to 7. If we finish 7 within the year, which I kind of doubt, because from 6 on, from 5 on, the stories get very much more deep and long. So at that point, we'll be dealing with much bigger stories. So, I mean, if we get done with 7 in 2017, then we'll move on to 8. And we're going to keep moving on through 9, 10. We're going to skip 11 for the moment because I have separate plans for 11. We're going to go right to 12 and 13. Yes, I'm doing 13. I don't have problems with it like the rest of the internet does. 14 also has its own plans. And eventually we will be getting to 15. I'm hoping to have beaten it by then. But, well, it's more than likely that I will. If not, then maybe what we'll do in the meantime is we'll start tackling some of the sequels or the side stories within these games, because there's plenty of that to go into. I like the fact that somebody actually specifically asked for me to cover Dissidia. And I think that was on the list. I have no problem playing Dissidia. I like it. And if we got to kill some time while I work on 15, then maybe we'll do that. But I also have some other RPGs kind of planned for the channel, as well as some other games. Also with Drak and Andrea, that's not really changing. We have kind of a full schedule now that we're working on, that we're interested in, both suggestions from you guys as well as stuff that we just want to play. So that's going to continue on. Tale of Drak will continue on till it's finished. And then eventually we'll move on to another MMO or an MMO-esque game. And yeah. Drak Tries, Drak Reviews, Drak Vlogs, those are all staying. So we'll have an active schedule starting in January. One I hope that you guys will enjoy. And I'm just saving because I know that I have a boss fight coming up soon, and even though I'll probably cheat through it, I might as well be prepared, because even though you could do the Vanish Doom glitch on stuff, I'm not saying that you can't, but you got to get ready for this game to throw you a couple of left hooks. There are a couple of bosses that do get like a last move before they die, and that last move can technically devastate your party, even at my level. So you can actually have some left hooks where you have to do the boss again because it annihilated you. So basically it went down and it took you with it. So that is definitely something that can happen, and we must be prepared for it. Alright, so we are going into the main room. And here is Owzer, and I'm sorry, but he looks like Jabba the Hutt. I get that he's sitting on a pillow, but that's Jabba the Hutt right there.
Please, help that painting. You taka to Kawawuki. The painting. There's a monster hiding in my prized painting of a goddess.
A monster? Oh, noes.
Yes, and now it's nearly impossible to get it to show itself. Kawawuki. You got own Jedi mind trick.
Oh, by the way, hi, Realm. Hi.
Realm, we can't attack this masterpiece. It would be inexcusable. Who are these numbskulls?
I take offense to that.
No one is going to remove me from this fine new painting.
And with that, we go into a boss fight with Shatternook. Now, here's the thing. This is actually one of those interesting boss fights because
the girl in the picture is mine. You can't have her.
So when the girl is up, we can't attack. And I'm sure somebody will have to... I'm sure there's a snippet here and there about censorship. I actually don't know it about this boss, but I would have a feeling that probably in 6, her top is not covered. But then US censorship came in. So you actually can't use the Vanish Doom glitch on this fight, because it will just respawn. And again, you can't attack the woman. You have to wait until this happens, where the demon surfaces, and then you can attack him. And I believe he is sensitive to fire magic, so we'll probably take advantage of that, but we have a highly physical party too. So that might not necessarily be that much needed. But if we do these attacks to the woman, he actually will retaliate, I believe. So you have to play your cards just right to be able to take on Shatternook. And when you do actually defeat him, you will not only get Realm as a party member, but you will get the Esper Starlet, who is really needed at this point because she's one of the 2 that has high-end cure magic, and we're gonna want that for later on. Now, this, as you can see, the image is changing back to the woman. I believe it's supposed to be Starlet. This is what Starlet's supposed to look like, but I don't think the Esper sprite is the same. Casts away energy until... Yeah, I don't think it's the same sprite as... Hit your friends till they drop! This is roughly a charm. Or at least I think it is. So, fire 2. We're just going to keep on hammering away at him. And now we're just going to exploit the fire weakness. Yeah, it is a charm. And now he's going to switch back over to Starlet again. That's the other cool part that I like, is in the fighting system, you see technically 2 targets. As if it's actually making an active switch. I always found that as a very interesting thing to add to the combat. But yeah, she'll have some high-end cure magic, which we will very much need. And believe it or not, so somebody actually did ask, like, how much of the side questing are you going to take on for Final Fantasy VI? We're going to take on most of it, including some snippets later on with the character Shadow, as soon as we're able to acquire him. Because now that we've met the requirements, or at least most of the requirements in-game to get him, there is actually a nice little side quest with Shadow that we'll go into, because it has an interesting tidbit to his character and what he's been going through up until you met him. Oh no, flash rain! And it healed some of us. That's even better. Fire 2! Just keep on nuking him. Now, technically, you can come in here when you have some of the later spells, but I know that you can actually take this guy on fairly early on. Here we go.
This can't be. No.
And Shadownook has been taken care of. Yay, we got victory. Now we need to go talk to Jabba again.
Kawabuki.
Yay, realm music. Oh, hey, relax. The monster's croaked. Yeah, we get that. We croaked it. She's standing on Jabba's shoulder.
Thanks for saving the day. This picture's more precious to me than my own life.
Obviously. Huh? What are you talking about? I've just been painting here. Now, what was a monster doing in that picture? That's a very good question.
It all started when I bought a stone at the auction house.
Ah, a stone. Probably a magicite.
I took one look at it and suddenly felt I needed a portrait of Starlet.
He bought the Starlet Magicite. That's what happened.
I asked several artists, but none could muster enough skill. Until I met this little girl. It was then that I heard about Realm's amazing ability. I brought her here and put her to work. And then I made her work and work and work and child labor and all that. But while she was painting, that thing came along. It must have been enticed here by that stone.
Probably. That's a fair bet. Where is the stone?
Oh, the stone? Oh, over there on that bookshelf. I don't even like it anyway, even though I spent millions of gil on it.
Then why did you spend millions of gil on it? This is magicite.
Oh, I don't need any more bad luck. Just take it and go. Let's completely ignore the fact I spent millions of gil on it.
Receive the magicite, Starlet. I have to go, but fear not. I'll be back to finish this painting. Aww.
I'll be waiting for you.
I'm sure you will be, and that's... we're not going there. Alright, so now that we're done in Jidoor, now that we have Realm, we actually get the option to get another character, specifically Strago. We haven't shown where he is, but let's just say he is one of the characters that lost all hope when the world ended, especially when he woke up one day and Realm wasn't to be found anywhere. That's not necessarily true. When he woke up from the wreckage, Realm wasn't to be found. So, if you're Strago's age, what do you assume? Yeah, and so he actually is off at the Tower of Fanatics. Devout worshippers of Kefka. It's an interesting turn, like that. So we're guessing he's assuming that Realm is dead, and so his first reaction is to go worship the guy who killed her. We'll get into that in a second, but first we have to swap over party members, because you have to have Realm in your party before Strago will show up, or before Strago will talk to you. So we're just going to swap out a few characters, and we'll grab Realm. But as you can see, we're starting to fill in those ranks. So this is starting to work out really well for us. All right, lift off, and we're going to head over to the Tower of Fanatics, which thankfully isn't that far off. It's just right in the middle of that snake-looking continent. There it is. Now, this is not necessarily an entrance to Kefka, but this is another side area that we will be visiting again once we have a lot more of the end-game spells. All right, so there's Strago. I love it. She jumps to the stairs. You old fool! You're still standing? Well, that's not a way to say hi.
Realm, is that you, my dear? You're alive!
Yeah. What are you doing? Aw, she was sad.
Idiot, of course I'm alive!
Oh, I'm so happy.
Did you think I was gonna check out before you, old man? Ha ha ha!
I love their interactions, man. It's great.
You're as foul-mouthed as ever, bless your heart! Come along now, we're all glad to see you. Now let's get the hell out of here. Out of the worshippers of Kafka.
Yep, I love Strago.
Whoa, well I'll be! Alright, make room for me!
Alright, so now we have Strago as well. Yay. And that's actually going to go ahead and do it for this week. So when we get back, I actually am going to need to do a quick grinding break, and then we will go on to the next endgame dungeon in Final Fantasy VI.